Committee could do is think about how do we make our institutions.
Well, how are you going to do that in the context, though, of one of our leaders, for whom I have great respect, going on the steps of the United States Supreme Court, telling two justices if they vote in a way he doesn't like, they will pay the price and reap the whirlwind. You have another one of your witnesses here tweeting out stuff saying, quote, some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale.
Yeah.
He said they were bought like a sack of potatoes.
Okay. I'm not going to comment on that, Senator. That's not anything I had anything to do with.
Hey, YouTubers, welcome back to Capitol Insights. Today, we're diving into some serious Supreme Court drama. Senator John Kennedy just went toe-to-toe with a witness in a hearing that's got everyone talking. Buckle up, because we're about to break down the top 10 moments that'll make your jaw drop. We've got Senator Kennedy facing off against Mr. Payne from the Campaign Legal Center. Now, this isn't just any old hearing. We're talking about the integrity of the Supreme Court itself. Kennedy starts throwing some hard-hitting questions at Payne about his organization's website and his personal tweets. Things are getting heated, fast. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Kennedy pulls out a statement from Payne's website calling the Supreme Court a threat to our democracy. But wait, there's more. He then brings up a retweet suggesting some justices are basically politicians for sale. Can you believe it? Payne's trying to backpedal, but Kennedy's not letting up. All right, so Payne's in the hot seat now. Kennedy's asking him point blank if he thinks the justices are for sale. Payne's denying everything left and right. He even claims he didn't post a tweet calling Chief Justice John Roberts a disgrace. But Kennedy's got the receipts, folks. Just when you think it can't get any more intense, Kennedy shifts gears. He starts grilling another witness, Mr. Fogel, about Justice Sotomayor's trip to Puerto Rico. Apparently, it was paid for by the ACLU. Kennedy's trying to make a point about perceptions and conflicts of interest. This hearing is turning into a real-life courtroom drama. Hey, before I wrap this up, if you're loving this breakdown of Supreme Court shenanigans, smash that subscribe button. You won't want to miss our next video on political showdowns.
Does not the front page of your website say, I'm going to quote here, I want to get it right, the current U.S. Supreme Court is a threat to our democracy? The current U.S. Supreme Court is a threat to our democracy. Did I read that right?
What I can say is that our organization...
But is that on your website?
I am not certain exactly what's on the website.
Here it is, right here,
Okay.
big as Dallas.
What that refers to is the voting rights voting rights cases of the Supreme Court. Our organization is a voting rights organization that fights for all Americans to have the ability to vote.
Yeah, but you got to click a bunch of times to find that explanation. I just want to make sure I read that correctly. A few months ago, Mr. Payne, you retweeted the following statement. Some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale. Some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale. Now, that's a pretty bold statement.
I'm sorry, Senator, is that a news article?
No, sir. That's a retweet here. You tweeted this out. Tell me which justices are for sale.
I don't recall that tweet, but...
Here it is. November 21, 2022. Can you tell me which justices are for sale?
No.
Are any of them for sale?
No, the problem is that the American public has a perception that some justices may be.
I'm going to establish the point first. I want to know, you tweeted this out. Do you believe that some justices are for sale? And if so, which ones?
No, Senator, I do not believe that justices are for sale.
Then why'd you tweet this out?
Can you provide more context of what that is?
I'll get you a copy, but here it is. I checked it and triple checked it. You also said less than a month ago that John Roberts, you retweeted this out. John Roberts is a disgrace.
No, I
disagree with Justice Roberts. Well, you didn't call him Chief Justice Roberts. You called him John Roberts.
No, this is
you retweeted this.
No, Senator, I did not retweet that.
Yes, sir, you did, right here.
I will
As
need
big
to
as
see.
Dallas.
Can you provide a copy to me
Sure,
now? But
sure.
I did not retweet
Can you
that.
tell me why you think Chief Justice Roberts is a disgrace?
I did not say that, did not retweet that.
Oh, okay. Maybe Twitter got it wrong.
Someone got it wrong.
Let me ask you this, because the unstated premise of all this, sometimes it's stated, but the unstated premise of all this is that some justices have been bribed. Let's just cut to the chase. Okay? Now, let me stay with you, Mr. Payne. Well, let me go to Mr. Fogel. I don't want to just pick on you, Mr. Payne. You can be looking up on Twitter where you said those things. On April 4th, 2019, the American Civil Liberties Union paid for Justice Sotomayor's trip to San Juan, Puerto Rico. You ever been to San Juan, Mr. Fogel? Is it expensive?
I keep forgetting. Well, it depends when you go.
Yeah. How much you think it costs to go down there?
Depends whether you fly first class or economy.
What if you fly first class?
Oh, probably a couple $1,000s
Okay.
Yeah.
The ACLU, do they have cases in front of the Supreme Court?
all the time.
They do, all the time?
Sure.
Do you think the ACLU was trying to bribe Justice Sotomayor?
No, sir, I don't.
I don't either. But that's the unstated premise of all of this.
Well, Senator, if I
All
may,
these articles about Justice Clarence Thomas and the Chief Justice of the United States and Justice Gorsuch, who sold an interest in an LLC to a Democratic donor who had never met, that they bought him, isn't it?
may I say something in
Of
response,
course.
Senator? I think there are two things going on here today. I think there is a political conflict, which is, as I said earlier, it's very intense. It's hyper-partisan. Both sides have things to say. And then I think there's an ethical issue.
When you accuse people of being bribed, it kind of
I'm not accusing.
gets their attention.
Sir, hold on a second. I'm not accusing anybody of being bribed. I'm not.
But some people are.
Some people are. The reason I'm here is I think that there is an ethical issue that, as Senator Graham said earlier, it would be good for the court to think about in terms of being more transparent. That is what I care about. That's the only thing I care about. There's a lot of political back and forth. It's very interesting. I'm very interested in it as a citizen of the United States. But I think the most useful thing that this or any other committee could do is think about how do we make our institutions...
Well, how are you going to do that in the context, though, of one of our leaders, for whom I have great respect, going on the steps of the United States Supreme Court, telling two justices if they vote in a way he doesn't like, they will pay the price and reap the whirlwind. And you have another one of your witnesses here tweeting out stuff saying, quote, some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale.
Yep.
He said they were bought like a sack of potatoes.
Okay, I'm not...
So there you have it, folks. 10 explosive moments from a hearing that's got everyone talking about Supreme Court ethics and transparency. We've seen accusations, denials, and some serious political theater. It's clear this debate is far from over. What do you think about all this drama? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep it real, YouTubers.